I'm like, meh. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic. Soon there will be less of me than there is now. Though you might not tell the difference because my hair's been this way for many months. So, I am getting an actual... I have no idea what you're saying here. There, how about if I just do that? And I'm precariously positioned here. Now, the first time I've ever... Well, how do I want to phrase that, actually? The only time I've ever gotten a haircut that was considerably different than what you normally see, which is just straight, long hair with bangs and or... That's like the only style change that's usually consistent with me. It's like, with bangs, without bangs. With bangs, without bangs. But the only actual haircut I ever had was from wherever the hell it was, long, to like a bob, and that was only under the guise of a lie. Where, can't quite remember, this was 2nd grade, mind you. I'm pushing 40, so this is ways back. And it was like, something to do with like, well, long hair weighs your hair down, so if you get it cut, it'll curl up more. Electrocution won't cure my hair, okay? There is no curl in my hair. Regardless, I do not have that in my genetics, as far as I know. It's, the only way Mother has curly hair is because they irradiated her. Not nearly enough. But, yeah, so it was like... not well. And I feel like I'm not in the center here. There we go. And especially in those days, and only up until recently, it's more of a psychological thing where I needed my neck protected, if that makes sense. You know, I'm not like a scarf person or anything like that, but I felt exposed in a way with, even with my hair up. Every now and again I'd have to have like my braid wrapped around or something. It was just one of those things. And recently, within the past couple of years anyways, I haven't had that issue so much. And I've had my hair up so much, and I don't know if you've seen previous videos where it's down, it's just looking really crappy. Mainly because of this stuff. Now, I tried doing a couple of videos on my thyroid problem about a year ago even, when I started realizing something not quite right. Now, I never had thick hair to begin with, and I would notice, I'm not quite sure how it kind of came to be. I think it was through YouTube, in a way, where, you know, I had a few, you know, videos up, and if you look at my early videos, especially when I had the you know, I had black on top, black on the bottom, and color underneath, so the color would just peek through, and it was starting to look like Gollum, basically, the black part, and I think that's kind of what was like, that shouldn't be that way, you know, that wasn't that way before, now it is, and the only change was the synthetic thyroid, and that is a major side effect, and it was a levothyroxine, and they had pushed me from, what was it, 5 or something, and I'm now on 88, but there was a couple of other factors I thought it might be, but it's been consistent, and those other factors no longer apply, and this is over a course of a year. So, I don't know if you can kind of tell, I mean, I can tell how much more thin it has gotten. One reason why I went lighter, too. So I figured, well, you know, if it's going to go that way, I'm at least going to do wacky hair colors and at least enjoy what I have left while I got it, you know? So, that was sort of the main reason to push that envelope to that point. And I brought this up to him when I had my appointment yesterday of the day, you know, the day before I am filming this. And that was the day that, you know, I wake up to end up holding a power cord that's on fire. So that day was not quite on the normal spectrum. And I finally brought it up to him, and he does go, it's like, oh yeah, you do have thin hair. No motherfucking shit, right? Well, we'll switch you over to, you know, instead of the generic, do the, name brand. Funny thing is, they're both synthetic, except one is a lot more expensive than the other. So I went from $4 to like $25, which is unpleasant, but some people say, you know, I've done better on the name brand, so, but, one of the major things is, okay, he switches me over, but he doesn't want to do like a direct follow-up. He's like, well, when do you want to see me? I'm like, of course, not thinking, you know, after being, you know, poisoned by plastic. Oh, a year's fine, whatever. But I'm one that wants to research things thoroughly. So I revisited research I had done before. And, you know, looked up the Synthroid name brand, and it's like, well, it's the same thing. And all this other stuff. And I'll probably do the thyroid video when I have more information, now that I actually called them back and kind of like, you know, why are you only testing me on this when you should be testing me on this, and this? You know, you're medicating me for something you don't even know the source of, and that whole thing. So if I gain more information, I'll do more info on that. So, but, the thing with, you know, any hair loss, especially if you're a girl, it's what the outside kind of does to you, you know what I mean? Because when I first kind of, you do this, you know, like, Tribbles, see, I got a hair thingy right there, which is always fun. You know, it does alarm you because, you know, that's sort of what makes you a girl, you know, the whole hairdo stuff. And the fact that the benefits outweigh that, the fact that I'm a lot more emotionally stable than I was, so I could, you know, do this type of thing, you know, the whole YouTube thing. If, you know, before that, forget it, no way. You know, just, the benefits are outweighing that one, issue, side effect, you know, thing. But it bothers me that it bothers me. Because I'm the type that, you know, oh, Tribble, well, this is interesting, not, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. You know, it's just something, you know, having my history, you know, something you just learn to adapt. You know, it's like, well, what the fuck are you gonna do, you know? But, you know, it's like, there was a point here and I can't remember what the hell I was making. Oh my god, you have thin hair. You know, it's like, oh, you look horrible, like somehow your beauty is wrapped around that type of thing, you know? Though I think, you know, some women can rock the whole, you know, buzz cut, bald thing, like, awesome, you know? Because I'm like, well, that's kind of thing, that was my point, that it's such a silly thing, because it is just based in vanity. I mean, it's not going to kill you, you know, if you lose hair, you know? It's like, it's all emotional and mental, because society kind of makes you believe in that importance. And I know everybody's going to be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you know, it's like, well, it is an important thing. It's like, yeah, it is. But, you know, considering other factors, it's something that, you know, I can deal with. Not happy about it, not like, oh, great, you know. So, you know, I can't say it's been traumatic for me, more alarming in the fact that the medical profession and medical doctors don't want to take that aspect of it seriously, especially if you're a chick. It's like, oh, it's just a female thing, you know, it's just, you know, they overblow it, but, you know, if it wasn't such a freaking problem, would there be Rogaine? Would there be toupees? You know, it's like, you know, men are affected by this too, but it's more socially acceptable for them. That's why I'm like, insurance should pay for my haircut, because it's basically a direct, you know, a direct line for, you know, because of the thinning out from the medication, you know, because I have long hair, it is a lot more noticeable. And the quality of your hair changes too. You know, it's kind of, and people are like, oh, it's because you color your hair. Well, that was one of the factors I was kind of thinking about. But I was coloring my hair with harsher chemicals before the medication, and there was no problem at all. You know, I've done a lot less, and I was using thinner comb than this that, you know, put like maybe 3 stick things, teeth, you know, in the comb, and it was a lot thinner tooth spacing, and there was no problem. So I'm like, well, what the hell? So I got a bigger comb. And it did stop after a while to a point, but it kind of started up again. So I ended up doing, where's that? Getting biotin, hair, skin, nail health. Adults take 1 soft dale, one things. If you're pregnant, I do not think. And I did tell Umenzer, who is my doctor, that I was on it. Biotin helps promote the health of skin, hair, and nails by nourishing cells throughout the body. Biotin is water-soluble B vitamin, that assists protein and fat metabolism for energy use. I don't expect it to actually do anything, but, you know, at this point it's worth a try. So, that is the main reason I'm getting a do. So, for me, it's, you know, so of course the nerves have been going, but again, because of the thought, you know, medication, the fact that I'm not barfing right now, that it's more of an excited nervous instead of an actual incapacitated nervous, which, you know, which you wouldn't think would be you wouldn't think the source would be something as strange as that, because and I'm low thyroid, so I have, you know, low tolerance. I still have no tolerance to cold at 91 degrees, and I'm happy as a clam. So, you know, there's still, which is one reason I told them, you know, test me on everything, not just that one piece, and I'll get into more detail later on. So, that's the long-winded story behind my haircut. Now, I don't know how much I'll be able to film, because I have nobody to, like, go with me to film. And I have, like, no support system anyway. And the support system I have isn't technologically, you know, adept. So I will try to get something filled. So, yeah. So I'm hoping my hair will look a little less crappy. And, again, I am going shorter, obviously, haircut, and I figure it'll give me a lot less tribbles. You know, a shorter haircut will be a little easier to deal with than just long strands of, like, you know, it's like gerbils mutating everywhere, so that's that. Do plan on doing this, you know, wacky color still, so I might as well still enjoy what I have left, you know. But here's a thought, too. you go, you know, searching online or whatever for, like, you know, how do you reverse the thing, and there really isn't an answer. It's like, well, once you're stabilized, it might come back in. And it's like, yeah, thank you. I don't expect to see any more hair, basically. But then I'm a pessimist too. So, but it's like, well, you can do like weaves. Is that the term? No, extensions. Which I think is silly, because even when I had thicker hair, the combs would always stick out. Because it's just. But it's like, oh, you could do that, or do this something else, and like wigs. I'm like, lovely. But here's my question. Wouldn't suddenly changing to a wig kind of clue people off that there's a problem that makes wearing the wig a moot point in the first place? I mean, people who know you, have seen you around, will know you're wearing a wig. So it just seems kind of silly to me. I don't know. But then I'm too lazy to actually bother with one. And they're freaking expensive too. I mean, if you get a decent looking one. You know, I was talking to my friend Andy, oh, you can get a wig like during Halloween. I'm like, so I don't know. So I'm hoping at least, you know, enjoy my new do while I still have hair. No, supposedly they said nobody's ever actually gone bald on the, you know, thyroid stuff, but still, I mean, you look like Gollum, you know, so that's such an attractive look to rock, you know. So I don't know quite what more to tell you. I will try to do that follow-up on the thyroid thing. We were playing friggin' phone tag again. So, that's that. And I shall see you hopefully at the hairdresser appointment doodah. On my way to doom. Very cold haircut. This is technically spring. Or at least it was, you know, last time I blinked. Now it's winter again, so I don't know what the hell's going on. So, since I'm close by, I'm just going to walk to the hairdo place, which is somewhere in amongst those itty-bitty buildings. I think. I could pass things twice and still not remember. Yes, up there, around the corner. And I think I'm going to be incredibly early, but I can wait. Better early than late. Could take like the scenic route. No, not quite cold enough for to see one's breath, but enough to freeze one's ass off. So, I shall get back to you. Hello. I couldn't get any film while she was cutting, which I told you, which was kind of awkward because you shouldn't really move much when you're getting your hair cut. But it's really cold, so that's why I have my hood up. Funny thing is, it pretty much looks exactly the same pulled, like when I have it pulled back, which was kind of the original idea. I was trying to go for the Rihanna, but I have different textured hair, so it does look a little, because of the thyroid thing, which I mentioned earlier, some kind of stringy and stuff, so it's not like smooth and crisp like her hairdo. But then she has Mediterranean hair anyway. What the hell? Not Mediterranean. She's from Barbados. Where the hell is that? Island hair. Anyway. But it came out about as good as I expected. The back is exactly the way I wanted it. So, I don't know. So I kind of have the grandma bob in the front. I would have preferred stronger points, but then I don't have thick hair. So, for what I have growing out of my head, it's working. But I don't know. I don't even know. Can you see that? There you go. I have absolutely no idea what you saw. But that is the back of my head. Wow. So, but that is what I wanted. So it's like my hair up without having to be up. And it's funny because there was a point where it was like tickling the back of my neck, which is a totally new experience for me. So that should be interesting. When it's like, oh, wait till you wash it. Even if you just have it trimmed, it's still like, oh. So that, maybe I should, hair's still a little damp. And it's very brisk outside. So, but I like the fact that it's longer in the front, so I still have that sort of mental cradle, I guess you can say. So, getting midsection here. So, that's that. She puts a little mousse in my hair, but it doesn't. My hair doesn't take hair product at all. So, we'll see what creative things I can do with my do. Brr. Tree's gonna need sweater. Ooh, smells nice. It was getting to the point where it's like I'd have to have my hair up to go to bed because it would strangle you. So I think there's a lot more convenience. And I never would have wanted short hair. For me, this is short hair. It's the shortest my hair's ever been since I've been a baby. No joke. So, but it's funny because it looks the same when you put the thing here, hair up. And I'm not going to tell Mother especially, see if she notices anything. So, or my husband for that matter. Never let that man around scissors. So, I have returned. And I guess she'll stop at various old folks and see their reactions, if they have a reaction. You know my hair's now messy, but but at least they'll know what to expect when I'm too lazy to do anything but comb it. It was too much excitement, my battery died. So, see, for me, bobs are kind of like, you know, still soccer mom, but, you know, it works for my kind of hair. So I don't quite know what to do with it. It looks funnier because it's, you know, puffed out and more, and it's freshly cleaned too, so, which sounds kind of funny. Hey, takes less time to comb my hair. Hey. Let's see. Hey, let's try to break the laws of space. Mirror. Okay. trying to angle this so I can't see me or the cat. Okay. There, pull this. How about if I lose the comb? There we go. Okay. Mirror. Left hand. Attempting to see what the camera sees. Aha. Okay, move there. And I can quite... Moving closer. Aha. I actually probably would have gone a little shorter still on the top layer, the purple layer. If you bend down, it looks a little more what I had in mind. But with the purple layer, it looks so much cooler, and she really liked the fact. So I'm thinking when I do my hair color, I don't know, let's find out. Because I usually like doing, as you've probably seen, multiple colors. Too many fingers can't work here. Okay. I'm trying to maneuver you guys and this at the same. Okay, here we go. See? Ooh, I might be able to do that. Okay. So, can't quite see here. Do like the top layer and then the bottom layer, the purple. I don't know if you can tell how thin my hair is there, but usually when you get a cut, it feels a lot thicker, but of course it might be all in my head too, I don't know. So, a successful haircut, I think. You know, like I said, I wanted the Rihanna, but then, here, let me try something. Hers wasn't parted to the side like the soccer mom here. It was more from the back to the front. Wow, that just made oodles of difference. So, I have no sense of style whatsoever as far as knowing what to do with, like, hair do's. Yeah, I'm sure that made sense somewhere. That just made no difference whatsoever. But I don't know, Google Rihanna when she had the inverted bob there. That's making me want to pee. But, yeah, it's like... Ooh. Hey, it's like a science fiction character there. So, yeah, that's it. So I got the grainy do and... Now the thing I kind of liked that I'll kind of like look forward to doing. That's just sexy right there. I don't know if you can quite catch the awesome, but let me try to. Is there a middle piece in here somewhere? That's kind of sort of where my natural part is, which kind of yeah. But I can't wait to do like the little mini pigtails, which I'll have to, hold on, I can show you this. Okay, now introducing Surfer Gals doing Rosemary's Baby. So, to me, I find this freaking cute. And I have the head to kind of go with the thing. Let's see. So, to me, that's like, this would be the style I'll be rocking. Of course, I gotta color it up. But, you know, my hair's gotten so fine, so you really can't tell the difference You know, when you put your hand through your hair, it's like, there should be more here. But it's funny. Like I told her, I have not had a new do since 2nd grade. This is the shortest it's ever been. So, looks like there's spider webs there, but it's actually schmutz. But, yeah, the bangs just work too, so. I can't quite, because I can tell when I do this that it's a lot sparser. So, and I shall update you on the Levo thing. I do have them that match, but you kind of see what, yeah. You would think it'd be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm like, there's no difference, you know. So, but I think it's the glasses though that make me, you know, still makes me feel like soccer mom, you know, like a bob just. Of course, my mother had a bob for the longest time too, so it's like, but it just with the medication and all that stuff and various other things, it's like this is more of a practical thing to do. So, I don't know. Is it me or does it make me look older? I don't know. Do I now look my age of past 35? Okay. Okay. I don't know what you've got in there. But that's my new do. Attempt to be back again. We'll figure it out in editing. I don't know. Of course, this shirt kind of works it too, you know. When I get into my own gear, maybe we'll work something. But I'm thinking red next time. Soon-ish. And this will also screw the continuity too, so you'll be like, huh? Maybe I'll be putting up, unless something amazing happens beforehand, the ones you will see previously. YouTube, Time Vortex. Do comment. And do you have any suggestions on like different how to style it or styling products? Because I have no freaking clue. Shampoo, conditioner, leave-in conditioner, that's pretty much my level of expertise. Comb. You know, any cool things I could do, you know, to punk it out there. See, I can't really spike it because it's not short enough to do that in the back that some people have, but I think that's kind of I don't know, but we'll see. Do rate a thumbs up for catastrophic costume changes here. Pick a direction. There we go. Pretty much more of the same. So, and subscribe for, you know, strangeness, nuttiness, whatever I managed to film on. Probably a snowstorm since we've stopped spring after 2 days of warm weather. So, thank you all for watching. I would have liked to have done something in the thing, but it was just me and the hairdresser, so, you know, and talking over medical issues. It was nice that she had the same issues, too, so she understood where I was coming from, too. So, and she holds up this, like, you know, the wad of hair that, you know, came off of me. She's like, you want this? I'm like, nah, I find enough of that on my carpet. And she's, like, laughing her butt off. It's like, the Tribbles change from time to time. So, that's that. And I shall see you all next time. It is time to feed.